Alright, listeners, today class I want us to look at some few things in Python programming. We are going to start from the basic. Look at some method, look at some how we can make use of some techniques in Python, function, list, data type, and all that. So I want you to follow along. Feel free to subscribe on my channel. Don't forget to comment on the comment section. So first example I want us to do today is going to be a full basic course. We can try as much as we can to cover whatsoever we can cover today. So in my next video I will continue from where we stop. So the first example I want us to look at here is this. We have seen some method in some other programming languages. So in terms of data definition, the way they define data or define a variable is different from the way other programming language may define their language variable. So it varies. But one good thing about Python is that it's very, very flexible, very robust. It's a general purpose programming language. I love it so much. I use it for business, machine learning, data science, building model, and all that. So even for web, I use it for web, talking about framework, Django, Flask, and all that. So, but for today, I want us to look at some few examples what we can do with Python programming. And in the comment section, feel free to comment so that we can know what video we can make for our audience, of our learners, of our listeners. Thank you once again. So first example I want us to do today, I want to define a variable, call it a number. Okay, and I'll pass this variable to a dictionary data. Okay, now let's say for instance we want to check. Okay, I want to define users here. Let's say the first user here is Randy, and this Randy has the sum of 250 $250 or naira, as the case may be. I have the second person, call it a Joe, and Joe has $400. Okay, and Martins, okay, has, sorry, when you are defining the dictionary data, you open, you see that double single quotation, as the case may be, passing your value and the key. Okay, so we'll say, okay, Martins, for instance, and the key here, we say it has a $300. Now, if we have successfully define a variable called number, and we pass it to a dictionary data. Okay, now if I come here and say print this number, okay, it will give me the full detail of all that we have passed to this dictionary data. Randy, he print this. Joe, he print this, he print this. Okay, now what about supposing we say, okay, we want to do something different. Okay, I will now say, okay, print, if we now come and say, okay, let's say we want to print number, okay, from the index of 2. Sorry. Okay, if it's okay, want to print number from index of what? Okay, we are talking about slice. It's a unshavable what type. Now this place is telling you that we cannot slice this in this format. Okay, so in our second example, I will show you how we can do this in such a way that we can be able to index all this data and begin to sort them one after the other. Okay, now if we've successfully do that, let's talk about something different. I want to define a list data. The first one we did is just dictionary data. How do we know the type of this data? If I come and say print, I say type of this number, it should be able to tell me that this is a dictionary data. Okay, DICT. Okay, that's a short form of what dictionary. Now we want to define another value. I will call this one a list number. Okay, I will pass it to what? A list of value. Let's say we have a 20, 30, 40, 50, 70. Okay, these are the values. If I come here and say I want to print, okay, I want to print this list number, okay, from the index of 2. Sorry, from the index of 2, it will give me what? 40. Okay, we've been able to what? Because by counting, it starts from what? Index of 0. This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. Okay, it starts from 0, 20 is 0, 30 is 1, 40 is what? 2. Now if I want to get the index of what? 5 of, let's say 3, it should be able to give me what? 50. What about I say index of 7, which is out of range? It will show that list index out of what? Range. Okay, it's showing that the list index is out of what? Range, because the number of list value here, is not up to what? 7. If I come here and I say 75, I come here and I say 90, I come here and I say 69. Now if I run this code, it will return what? 69, which is the 7th what? Index. Okay, now that's about indexing what? Value. Okay, alternatively, we can decide to say, okay, let's print the whole value, so that you will see that in the list number, okay, we actually have what? This. See, this is what we are getting there. We have 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 76, 90, and 60 what? 9. Okay, that is that on that angle. Now I want us to, because I said this topic is going to be a crash it's going to be a crash course. So we're going to be building different kind of application, writing different kind of code. Yeah, so we'll be doing several things. I don't want us to look at one angle. So if I want to say, okay, let's define something here, and that's why I love Jupyter Notebook so much, to give you a venue where we can create header. Let's say age check. Okay, we want to write application to check age of a user. We have seen some cases whereby you are applying something online, they put a check, or maybe say, let's call it an authentication, okay, or validation method to check if you are an adult, or you are below the age, or you are above the age. Okay, so if we come here, we define a variable, say age is equals to, we'll pass it to an integer type of an input, because we want to take input from user. Now from the input, we'll say tell user to enter your age here. Okay, we want user to enter their age. After that, now we are going to use what they call a control flow. Okay, which in some cases you can call it a conditional statement, if else and whatever. So we're going to use a control flow. So this control flow, we will start by saying that if age is greater than or equals to 18, okay, it should tell us that this person is what? An adult. Say you are an adult. Okay, now successfully, the person will be able to what? Apply X. It should tell us something that this person is what? Below age. Now we're going to do something here. If I come here now and write and put 12, you say below what? Age. If I come here and put 20, you are what? An adult. So it's a simple validation code. So the validation was able to tell us when somebody is an adult, when somebody is below age, and when somebody is what? An adult. Yes. So now let's talk about something again. Say for instance, we want to sum two value, define a function in Python, this is how to define the function def. Use def. I say add. Okay, we are now adding two variables. This function is taking two arguments, x and y. It can be anything. Okay, I decided to use x and y. I can say first number and second what number. Okay, for simplicity, I will say first number, comma, second number. Okay, these are the what argument that this function is what taking. We are passing two arguments as a parameter. Now we are saying, okay, result, wanted to return. We define variable, say call it a result. This result is going to return x plus y. That is the result we want. And once we're able to sum that value, return it and give us what? An output. Now, one good thing about function, immediately I use return. You see, by indentation default, it pick the next cursor to start from here. You know, Python code adheres strictly with indentation. Okay, if there is any error you commit in terms of indenting your code, it will trigger an error. Okay, because if I come here now and start my new code by saying answer is equals to add, we have to call our function which we defined before, call add, and now come and say add 5, 6, which is 5, 7, which is sum, and also okay, print answer. This will trigger an error for us. Okay, it will trigger an error, or rather it will not give us an output. Okay, because we are running it inside a function. So because all the code now is inside this block code, this function, so that is why we are not saying what? An error. Okay, but supposing I come here, okay, I come here, instead of returning this code here, and I return it here, what will happen? You see, unexpected what? Indent. Okay, this is error handling method, how we can fix it. Okay, because Python, like I said, don't joke with what? Indentation. So you must indent your code in order. Now look at it here. If I hit enter, it's telling me that the next code should start from what? From the extreme, which is from the beginning. Okay, so that is why when I print this statement, we couldn't see any outcome, because it's still within what? Under the function code or block. Now I want to take it to the what? From the base. Now if I print, I should be able to what? See what? An error. Okay, you see the error we are now seeing. Okay, this is the error. Now what does this error mean? It's a name x is not what? Defined. Good, fine. We define a variable here, result, first number x, second number what? Y. So we are going to replace this one, s to be what? Which is first number, then second number will now be what? Y. Are you getting it now? So if we run this code, we should be able to what? Get an output. Now what is this telling us? It say none. Why is it telling us none? Look at our code very quickly. Let's see if there is error here. Now from our code here, we are summing two value. Okay, I will say add, and what are we adding? We are adding first number with what? Second number. Okay, and by the time we run our code, we've been able to see that it's returning what? None as a value. So why is it giving us such an answer or output? Good, we are going to look at it step by step. Now if you look at the function we define, we call it what? Add. Okay, we say first number, second number, and we now return what? Our value here. Okay, now what are we returning? We are returning what? Empty variable. Okay, if you look at it well, we are supposed to what? Return result. Okay, because we have summed this two variable under result variable. It is two value under what? Result variable. The values are what? First number and second number, and we store it to what? Result. And when I say return, initially we didn't return the result, so that's why it's telling us what? None, because there's nothing returned here. So when we run this code now, we should be able to what? See the sum value of 5 and 6, which is what? 11. Okay, we've been able to got 11 here. So this function is running and it's okay, perfectly okay. If I come here and change this 5 to 10, we know that 10 plus 6 will certainly give us what? 16. Now if I come here and change this operator to minus, you know that when 10 minus 6, we should be able to have what? 4. So by default, we can be changing the operator here. I can decide to say division sign. 10 divided by 6, this is what it gives us. If I change it to multiplication using star, if I run this code, it gives us 60. Okay, that is how we can what? Navigate through all the operator using what? Function in summing two values. Okay, if you want to sum 3 value, I can come here, increase what? The arguments. Okay, that is that for that. Now there's another thing I want us to do here. Alternatively, this same code that we wrote here, we can also do it in a different format. Now if I come here and define a function, I call it add this. Okay, I say okay, remember I say s comma what? Y, which is the same thing with first number and what? Second value, second number and second value. Okay, as the case may be. Now I just okay, return s plus y. Okay, now that we have returned it, and I define a variable, call it answer. Okay, with this answer we want to store it into our what? Function name, which is add this. Okay, into our function name, which is what? Add this. Okay, now that we have this, we are passing two variables. I can say 34 comma 20. Okay, then we can now come here and say print. Can I say print result or print answer? Yes, print this answer that we have defined. With this code, you see what we did here. Here, remember, initially we passed the variable called result before we return a value. But here, instead of doing all this way, we say okay, just return the value. Immediately you define the function, then define a variable called answer and pass it to your function and pass your arguments. Then by default, if we run this code now, you find out that there will be what? A straight output, because 34 plus 20 will give us what? 54. So this is another way we've been able to what? Get rid of this second line here. Okay, this is another alternative way we can what? Do that. Okay, say for instance I want to do small board mass. Okay, board mass, bracket of the division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Okay, if we want to do something as such, okay, we can come here and say okay, let me define a variable called check is equals to let's say we have 42. Okay, bracket of the division, divide by 10. Okay, multiplication, okay, then and I say plus 20. Okay, then minus 10, then multiply all this by what? 10. Okay, this is just, we are trying to play around some techniques in using Python. Like I said, if I print this check, which is our variable, what would be the total sum of the value? You see, it now gives us the output of 42 divided by 10 plus 20 minus 10, multiply all the answer by what? 10. We are saying okay, start your evaluation or check from your bracket of the division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Irrespective of the operator that comes first, you must obey these rules of what? Board max. Okay, that is that on that. Excuse me. Now again, I want us to do something. Look at this simple code I want to do here. If I define x, I pass it to 30. Okay, now this 30, I'm not okay, print give me, that's okay, let me just say sum the number of x plus 70. Okay, then we cannot say print this value called sum n. Now what this application will do is going to return, sorry if the code view is too small, let me zoom it so that we can see it very well. Okay, now if this code, now what this application will do, we have defined a variable here, we pass it to what, 30. We'll now define another variable, call it a sum n is equals to 30 plus what, 70, because 30 is equals to, s is equals to 30. So by default, any value that comes here now, any value that is attributed to x will what, represent x. If I put this one 300 here, there is 300 here, because s is equals to what, 300. That's it. 300 plus 70 will give us what, 370. So if we print this, it will give us what, 370. Initially it was 30. If we print this, it will give us 100. Are you getting it? So these are small ways, techniques we can what, make do with what, Python, and navigate using different techniques. Okay, different approaches in Python programming. Now again, there's another thing I want us to look at. Making use of a minimal, maximal, and as the case may be. Now, if for instance we have a large number that we are pulling out from database, for instance, and that's okay, we have a list of value, define a variable, a list. Now this list of value, let's say we have a 12, 50, 80, 90, 85, 80, 89, 43 or whatever, all this value, whatever. Okay, now we have all this value here. I will now make this one 900. Okay, after we have defined this value or this list of data here, now I want to get the minimum among all these value here. Supposing they are much, they are numerous, trying to locate it will take time. So Python has a built-in function, okay, a method you can use in getting the minimum quickly. I'll say print min, okay, which is minimum of a underscore what, list. With this, we've been able to what, get what, the minimum. If I print this, it will tell me that from this data here, the minimum value is what, 4. If I change this add 1 to it, I say comma, I run this code, you see that the minimum value will turn to what, 1. Okay, alternatively, if we are to look for what, the max, I'll say print max of a underscore what, list. You see the minimum is what, 1, the maximum is what, 900. You see, this is various way or techniques we can what, get the minimum and what, maximum what, value. Now again, let's look at something very quickly. We have another method whereby we can print a string data with an integer. Yes, if I come here and define a variable, call it a where's, is equals to, I'll come and say hello, Joshua is a Python programmer. Okay, we make this comment here or sentence, and I come here again and say, I'll come here and define a variable, call it a salary. Okay, I will now say is earning $4,000. Okay, I will come here. I say okay, I want to concatenate these two words together. Is it possible to print these two words together? Okay, now if I come here and ask okay, I say okay, define a variable, call it a result. Okay, result will now be equals to where's plus salary. Okay, then sorry, it's not okay, we have not printed. I want to print. Before I will tell you why that error is showing, I will now say result. Okay, print result. Now if we run this code, you see that there is error. It's showing us what, an error here. Can only concatenate string Okay, not a what? Integer. You see, because it's telling us that this is what? An integer. This value here is an integer. But if I come here, I put it under quotation now. What happens? Okay, if I run this code, you say Joshua is a Python programmer and it returning what? $4,000. Now let's modify this and make it look very, very interesting. Now let's come here and we are going to come here. That's okay. Put something here. Space it here. Okay, going to space it here so that there will be a little space between these two values. Okay, sorry, there will be error, I know, sorry. Okay, okay, come here. Now we have this. Okay, now what I want us to do is this. I will come here. If I run this code, you see that there's a space here. Okay, we've been able to space it here. That Joshua, hello, Joshua is a Python programmer and he earned $4,000. Now let's make the statement here. Now what we're going to do here, we can come here and say his monthly salary is $4,000. So when we run this code now, I see that hello, Joshua is a Python programmer. His monthly salary is what? $4,000. Okay, that is how we can what? Concatenate two strings together. Okay, that is how we can concatenate two strings together. Now remember, initially we wrote some code using a function, and one good thing about function is that function will not execute until it is called. Your function will not show the code that is under the function block, code block, until you call that particular function. If I come here and define a function, I call it a statement. Okay, and this function is taking no argument. Now I want to make a statement and say print a statement that I love Joshua. He is a good a good teacher or a good programmer. Okay, now if we come here and run this code, nothing will happen. Why? Because we have not called this function. Okay, and it will not trigger error. Now if we want to call this function, we are not calling it from here. By indentation, we are calling it from the base. We are starting from the left hand side. Okay, we'll now come and say okay, statement. Okay, we'll now come and call the function. Now the statement we want to show I love Joshua, he is a good programmer. So function code will not execute until it is called. So far so good. We've been able to cover some few things related to some basic Python code, and we'll do more in our next video. Thank you for your time. I want us to look at some other topic in our next video. We'll be talking about how we can embed do some calculation, yes, using Python code. How we can design some application, okay, do some things that's very interesting thing. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, feel free to like the video, share and comment for any other topic that you want us to look at in the future, so that we will make video that will guide us to advanced level. Okay, like I said, we'll be doing some crash course project on this channel, whereby you will understand some few things that you need to know to start up on your own. Okay, so that there will be a little stress for you, because we will be doing some projects that will be dabbling into some challenges that you might likely encounter in the future. And by what we have explained so far, when you encounter such challenge with the little project that we have built or pass through this channel, you can be able to tackle such others challenge. It's common in the world of programming. Every individual, every developer, we face bug, okay, we debug, we encounter bug. So when you face challenge, don't feel reluctant, don't feel deprived. Do more research so that you can come up with what a good result. So far so good. We are going to stop here on this particular video. In the next video, we'll be doing some more interesting topic and how we can use Python to do greater things in terms of coding. Thank you for your time. Feel free to subscribe on this channel and comment on the comment section. Like the video, share. Thank you.